I cracked the code. And so I want people to have what I have. And so I help people skip the line and figure it out.
Oh,
like
skip
that.
the line.
That's right.
Skip the line to love.
That's right.
So if anyone in the chat has questions about dating,
Yes.
relationships, we'll be talking
Navigating it all.
Yeah, then we'll take a 2-minute break in a minute, and then we'd love to post some of your questions. Going into the new year, what is the toughest thing now
got
that
10 seconds.
people have? No, we have a minute.
Oh,
Okay, 1 minute.
Kat,
That's why I said 2.5
we're off our
minutes.
game today. Well, we're both. Yeah.
I think you guys are doing great. You're
Sorry.
fabulous.
Going into the new year, what is the toughest challenge people will be facing with relationships?
I think going in,
1 minute.
Yes. So I think the biggest challenge is putting high expectations upon dating in general and yourself. I think that there's a lot of pressure that singles have, especially after the holidays, where they're like, why are you still single? Or why haven't you found anybody yet? And so it can be this really heavy weight on single shoulders where they're like, why haven't I figured it out yet? And so I think that that's probably the biggest challenge, is being in a space where it's accepting your singleness and then moving forward of looking at it in a space of clarity and assurance that you're going to find the right person.
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
We'll be back in 2.
All right, welcome back, you guys. We are with Kat. She is a matchmaker here in the Valley. And we were kind of talking about this because we're kind of in that perfect sandwich. Because some folks made New Year's resolutions to get back out there and maybe start dating again. And then we have Valentine's Day coming up in a month from today, which I didn't realize.
Yeah.
So this is kind of that perfect time for maybe those folks that were looking for those New Year's resolutions to get back out there to do so. But I wanted to talk about kind of the confidence it takes to put yourself out there, because we were kind of talking before you came out here about, it seems like folks on both sides, the men and the women, are not communicating with each other like they used to.
You know why?
That's right.
Right here.
Yep. And I think it's not only that, well, yes, I think that that is a huge part of it, because when you think about back in the 80s where you used to have to, or the 80s or 90s, you used to have to meet somebody, you had to get out of bed, you had to shower, you had to dress nice, you had to smell nice, you had to get in your car, you had to go to the place, and then you had to approach or be approached over and over and over again.
I like that you said smell nice.
Well,
that
hold
is
on.
very important.
Why you said that?
That is.
I have my breast guy with me.
That is incredibly
It is important.
Yes.
But not too much.
Yeah.
A nice balance.
Yeah. But I mean, that's such an excellent point, because now when you are either working from home,
Right.
or you're dating online,
Yes.
because that's what some people do. That's how they get to know each other.
Yes.
You don't have to make that effort. I tell my husband all the time, even though we're married and we've been together for so many years, you have to make the effort.
You do. And people, online dating has made it really easy to not. You don't have to be, because all of that means you have to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And to put yourself online, yes, there's a certain vulnerability piece to it, but people are now so conditioned and so afraid of being vulnerable, so much to the
Why do you
point
think
where
that is, though?
I think it's just, it has slowly over the last couple of decades we have made it so easy to where we don't experience pain anymore. And vulnerability,
Kind of insulate ourselves.
that's right. And vulnerability means that we're putting ourselves out there to possibly experience pain. And so people don't want to experience pain, and so they try everything they can to find dating hacks or look for the red flags. And I always tell people, don't go in looking for everything wrong. I want you to go in and look for everything right.
Switching your perspective.
That's
so
right.
take us back to when you met your husband.
Yeah.
And how you met your husband. What did you do then? What's the formula?
So it's a couple of different things. First is that you have to have enough clarity and intention with dating. Not, I'm just going to put myself out there and just see kind of where it goes. Versus putting yourself out there being like, I'm here, I'm dating with intent to hopefully find my person. So that's the first piece. The second piece is that live the life that you want somebody to look at and be like, their life looks like a lot of fun.
I want to be with that person.
I want to be with that person. So if you are out there dating and you don't have hobbies and you don't have interests and you don't have a full life for yourself, that would be my first assignment. Like, join the local meetup, go out there to happy hour, get a couple of friends and go hiking. Do things that are going to create texture in your life so that when you go to create your profile, you have all of these photos where people are like, oh, wow.
Oh, look what's happening.
Yeah.
Right.
I always say get a dog because no, listen, we'd go shopping.
Right.
And my husband would sit outside of the store with the dog and I would go in to return and I would come out and there'd be all these ladies surrounding him and they're petting the dog and then they're talking to him about the dog. And he always says to me, he's like, gosh, if I were single, I'd have a dog. Because that's how you start talking to people.
Dog park.
Yeah.
Maybe you got to find, maybe that is a key too, is finding kind of maybe those things you have in common.
Yes, 100%. So because I always tell people that online dating is only one way to meet somebody. Another great way to meet somebody is to do something that you love and to find somebody else who also has that passion for whatever that is. And but that's just only one part of the equation. The other part is that you have to approach. You have to make
Don't be
the
scared.
effort.
Yeah.
And just like the dog, I always tell people a great way to walk up to somebody is being like, oh my gosh, I really like your tennis shoes. Where did you get those?
Yeah.
Very easy, non-threatening. And it doesn't really talk about their appearance necessarily, but you're like appreciating their style. And somebody's going to be like, oh yeah, I really
well, I'm a
this is
runner. Are
great.
you a runner?
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Couple of different comments that we have. You have to make the effort. That's
right.
where it's at. Communication and honesty.
Yep.
Also, really reduce demands on your partner, and things will run smooth. Be real, the real you. And yeah, never go out thinking, oh, okay, let's go out and see what happens. They're asking about that, so don't be open to that. You have to go out with a plan.
With your own intent
Okay.
and what you're looking for. I think people put pressure on the connection, not with their intent. So I think that you should go with an open mind and an open heart to see how the connection goes. We have a saying, don't be attached to the outcome. So go into the date being like, I'm going to meet somebody new. I'm so excited. I'm going to learn something about myself and instead of going in being like, oh, I hope this is my soulmate. Oh, this person looks great on paper. Go into it being like, I'm going to meet somebody new and I'm going to have a great time.
Could be a friend, could be a lover,
That's
could
right.
be a soulmate.
That's
you never
right.
know.
You never know.
So kind of, I guess, tamp expectations a little bit?
Yes. Expectations. I always tell people to stop assuming, stop having expectations on the connection, that the only ownership that you have is how you are showing up to the date.
How many dates do you give it before you know it's a yay or nay?
I always tell people I have what I call a 2-3-5 formula. Do we have time?
Yeah.
Okay. So the two,
about 2 minutes.
the two stands when you go on a date. There's two things that I want you to pay attention to. Number one, what version of myself comes out around this person, and do I like this version? Because people do bring out different sides of us.
Okay.
And the second question that you ask yourself: am I curious to know more about this person? Because I always tell people replace the word chemistry with curiosity, because you want to be with a partner that you're curious about. That what's going on. Tell me the things. And you want to be with somebody that you're constantly in this state of exploring more about them. The 3 stands for give it 3 dates. So as long as you like the answer to those 2 questions, you want to give it 3 dates. And if the end of the 3rd date, it still isn't there, sometimes that's the thing about matchmaking that we always can't predict, is that magic.
That
Right.
chemistry.
That's right. So if it's not there after 3 dates, then yes, you can cut your ties and part as friends. And the 5 stands for understanding what your 5 core values are. Because when compatibility factors and what we're talking about, understanding what the 5 things that are really important to you, understand what those 5 things are. And as long as that person is aligned with those 5 core values, give it a shot.
I love it.
Yeah.
Kat, how do we get more information? If folks are watching, they want to get more information from you.
Yeah, so you can go to my website, scottsdalematchmaker.com, or you can follow me. I give dating advice all the time on TikTok at Cat Cantrill.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, we'll tune in.
Kat, it
Thank
was
you
so
so
good
much.
to see you again. Happy New Year.
appreciate it.
We'll have you come back again. That was fun.
Thank
All
you.
right, next guest, right?
All right,
You
we're
ready?
moving things along. We have Janet Evans. Janet, good
Hi,
morning.
Janet.